Before we proceed further, request you to please subscribe to our channel as shown above. Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. In today's video, we are going to cover one of the most important transits which is going to happen on 29th April 2022. That is Saturn or Shani will move from the sign of Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius or Kumbh, and he is going to stay in this sign till 12th July 2022. In the process, Saturn also becomes retrograde on June 5th 2022 and moves back into Capricorn after 12th July 2022. So let us see the impact of this transit on the world in general. Now this is the chart as on 29th April 2022 12:37 p.m. IST, when Saturn is going to move from the sign of Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius. Now Saturn is going to continue moving in the Dhanishta Nakshatra. The last two padas of the Dhanishta Nakshatra lie inside the sign of Aquarius. So on 29th April 2022, Saturn moves into the Dhanishta Nakshatra portion that lies in Aquarius. Now when Saturn moves into Aquarius, Mars is also present in that sign, but Mars is present in the Shatabisha Nakshatra at 16 degrees. So in the Aquarius sign, we are going to have two planets, Saturn and Mars. Another interesting thing is Saturn transits into Aquarius on 29th April 2022, and on 30th April 2022 there is Shani Amavasya, and the midnight of 30th April, that is on 1st May 2022, we have the solar eclipse. So you can see in the sign of Aries, you have Rahu, Sun and Uranus right now, and after 30th April, Moon will also join them. And Saturn is going to put his third aspect on this combination of Rahu, Sun and Uranus, as well as the Moon. Now this is very unique type of eclipse. It is a partial solar eclipse, but this eclipse is happening when the Sun is in its exaltation sign of Aries or Mesh with Rahu, and therefore Sun is very powerful here. Saturn puts his third aspect on the sign of Aries or Mesh, and the third aspect of Saturn always indicates efforts and some kind of struggle. Now with Sun being in the sign of Aries till around 14th May 2022, this indicates a struggle within the government or a power struggle, because the Sun is everything to do with the government, with power and with authority. And when Rahu eclipses the Sun, it amplifies this struggle. That is why till around May 14th 2022, across the world you will find the government struggling with different kinds of conflicts, different kinds of issues. Another wonderful thing is that we also have the conjunction of Jupiter and Venus in the sign of Pisces or Mean. Now Pisces or Mean is the sign where Venus or Shukra gets exalted. Why? Because Shukra is love. Pisces is representing spirituality. It is the last sign in the zodiac belt, and therefore it represents the highest expression of love, that is the love for God. And therefore this combination of Jupiter and Venus produces intense love for God among the people in the world. But there is a catch here. With Jupiter and Venus, you have Neptune, and Neptune represents delusion. It represents illusion. It also represents magic. So Neptune represents some kind of fanaticism, and therefore across the world in this time you are going to see a lot of religious fanaticism taking place. Now what happens when Saturn and Mars are in Aquarius? What is Aquarius actually? Aquarius is the natural 11th house in the zodiac belt, which represents hopes, wishes, desires, aspirations, social network, large organizations, and our friend circle. So, Aquarius is all about friendship, it is all about humanity, it is all about doing social service through large groups. And Saturn here wholeheartedly supports such activities. So, in this time period, you will find people working in large social groups, taking up social causes, social initiatives to help the people across the world. Now, Mars is present in the Shatabisha Nakshatra, and Shatabisha Nakshatra deals with healing. It is the nakshatra which represents 1,000 physicians. Mars also represents surgeries. Mars also represents cuts, bruises, injuries. So, this is a great time when doctors across the world will do wonderful things to help people, to help humanity. And Saturn will wholeheartedly support people who are involved in humanitarian causes, who are involved in uplifting the society by working as part of large social groups, large social organizations. So, if you are tuned to serving humanity, to serving mankind in any way in this time period, this transit is going to give you wonderful results. But if you fall for the fanatism represented by Jupiter, Venus, and Neptune, then definitely this Saturn is going to give you losses, and therefore Saturn is right now 12th from where Jupiter, Venus, and Neptune are placed. The sign of Aquarius is the bridge between the material world represented by Capricorn and the spiritual world represented by Pisces, and therefore doing humanitarian activities, helping the poor, helping the society in any way you can by being part of large social groups, large social organizations is what Saturn wants us to do. And if we stay on this path, then Saturn gives wonderful results. Saturn also puts his 7th aspect on the sign of Leo, which is ruled by the Sun. Leo again represents leadership, it represents authority, it represents power. And therefore, Saturn puts certain restrictions on people in power. If you try to abuse your power, Saturn will give you serious consequences and bad results. So, especially those people working in large organizations who have a lot of power, who have a very high role, as well as those people in the government, the ministers, the authorities in the government, if you misuse your power in this time period, Saturn is going to bring you down. Saturn also aspects the sign of Scorpio. I have shown this with the blue line. And Scorpio is the house of secrets. It is the natural 8th house in the zodiac belt. So, what kind of secrets is Saturn going to bring out? Now, Saturn is with Mars. Mars is in the Shatabisha Nakshatra. On one side, Shatabisha Nakshatra represents healing. But on the other side, Shatabisha Nakshatra also represents drugs and other substance abuse. Shatabisha Nakshatra represents things found in the depth of an ocean, and we know that inside the ocean there are good things as well as bad things. So Saturn's aspect on the sign of Scorpio while being conjunct with Mars, who is the lord of Scorpio, is going to bring out certain things related to drugs and substance abuse. That is, people dealing in drugs, substance abuse, they will all be exposed in this time period in a very bad way. Now, both the sign of Aries as well as the sign of Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And Mars also represents electricity. Mars represents the blood flowing through our body. So, when Mars is with Saturn, you will find in many places there will be lot of power cuts. There will be an energy crisis or a shortage of power in many parts of the world. Now, because Jupiter is with Venus and Neptune, as I had explained earlier, there is an increase in fanatism, and therefore there will be civil riots in different parts of the world. The northern parts, the northeastern regions of every country, especially India, will experience a lot of turmoil in this time period. That is till July 12th, 2022. Saturn starts becoming retrograde in the sign of Aquarius on 5th June 2022, and a retrograde Saturn is very powerful. It brings out events from the past which make us introspect into our karma. So on 5th June 2022, Saturn starts moving in the backward direction, that is, he retrogrades and then re enters Capricorn on 12th July 2022. Now, this is a time when China may face a lot of struggle, especially after June 5th, 2022. One good thing about this transit is that, at least for the next 2 months, Saturn will not aspect the sign of Pisces, which is the natural 12th house in the zodiac belt, which was keeping us confined to our homes. So, a lot of things will open up once Saturn moves into Aquarius. But we also need to relook at this fact once Saturn moves back into Capricorn on 12th July 2022. So friends, this transit of Saturn is very good for those engaged in humanitarian activities, social service activities, helping the poor. Aquarius, being second form Capricorn, is the sign which represents the Mool Trikona of Saturn, and therefore Saturn here also does karmic justice. Saturn will make sure that people doing wrong things are punished in the right way, and people doing the right things are also rewarded during this transit. So friends, this is a very good transit. You should engage in humanitarian activities, social service activities, and Saturn will definitely bless you and do good to you if you follow the right path. Now, if you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our channel Kamath Astrology, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button. For any consultations, please email us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com. So friends, thank you. Bye. Take care and stay safe.